My name is Serena. As you can see, I'm an LT consultant of Linguist Company, which is a proud representative of National Geographic Learning in Ukraine. You probably seen our series. Today we are focusing on our new edition. It's new close-up. I'll show you examples. I've been working in education and publishing books, I believe, for a pretty decent amount of time, for 10 years. That's why I hope that you find my suggestions of some value, but I also hope that you will share your insights and also your ideas with me, and I will be able to pick up it and implement it. If you have some ideas about future webinars, please feel free to write them in the chat. I will check it, and also you can just email me and make your own proposition, what you want to share with me. Okay, and also I want to share with you that I'm from Zaporizhia. Yes, it's still Ukraine. We are still persistent. I see that we already writing to each other. Where from? Let's check. There we have. Who are with us today? We have a lot of from my neighbors, Dnipro. Hi, neighbors. Луцьк, Київ. Новий розділ. Розділ. Okay. Хмельницький. Hi. Вінниця. Oh, I've been on the webinar with Вінниця recently. Житомир, Полтава, Харків, Київ. Oh, okay. Oh, a lot of my neighbors. Let's close. Oh, it's just didn't enough for me. Okay, I see. Oh, Chernobyl. Okay. Thank you for coming. Poltava, also Chernobyl, Kharkiv, Chernigiv, Ismail. Oh, they have someone from Ismail. And Aminsky. Hi. Kropivnitsky, Odessa. Yeah, sorry. I will try to correct myself. Черкаси. Кривий Ріг, Львів. Hi everyone. Hi. Oh, we have a lot of messages about where you're coming from. It's nice to see that we today together, like all big teachers' family from different places of Ukraine, but all sticking together, and we still trying to learn some teaching related topics and discuss them even in these darkest moments of our history. I hope you are keeping up and staying safe and sane. And also I need to make tell you that if you have some problems with electricity, don't be afraid. We will public this video on our YouTube channel in 2 days, and you will be able to see it. If I will experience it, I will just record it. And all certificates will be sent to you. So, please also have some of hot drink of your choice, and be ready to start this webinar, as I believe it's a bit chilly today. And for me, it's even windy in Zaporizhia today. So, just to keep warm and be ready to start this webinar with positive energy, I believe. It would be a very good idea. As today we are talking about how to teach teenagers reflective thinking and also reflective strategies for writing. I know that writing is a bit challenging topic, but I want to start with it as it's one of my spheres of interest in ELT, and I want to share with you some insights that I already have and also pick up some of your ideas for it. Today we will see examples from our new edition. I told you, edition to our National Geographic Learning series family. It's a new version of Close-Up second edition. It's called New Close-Up. Its main purpose, exam preparation, and you will see that we will be talking about exam writing too with this book. But also the main idea for this book is promote a vocabulary and also skills that teenagers really need to succeed in exams and also in their classroom activities and also in their future life. So altogether, what is really necessary right now, it's 21st century skills and learning intentions, all that you would be able to see this new close-up. Notification about your certificates, as right now we check in and try to implement a new system. Your certificates will be sent to you differently. I believe it should be working within 24 hours after this webinar, not immediately. So please wait till Monday, then please contact linguist if you haven't received your certificate, or just me, you will see my contact information after this webinar. It's just that stay patient. For 2 days, for 2 working days, we will send it. And also, please check your junk box, as it can appear there sometimes if we add in some PDFs to be sent to you. So if you would have any questions about certificates, please contact me on Monday and let me know that you haven't received it, okay? So thank you for your understanding and your patience with us trying new things. I believe it's important as we try to learn from experiences and try to bring a better service for you, and also to see what would be working for us in this challenging environment as we have right now. Let's start, I believe. Yeah? Are you ready? Do you have your hot coffee or hot tea with you? Okay. Let's quickly run through our agenda. We will discuss today with you the importance of writing in teaching English language. Also, it's other focal point today that we will talk about reflection, how we use these approaches in teaching writing, what ideas we have for it, how we see it, is it necessary, is it maybe something additional activities that we can do with our students. I want to share several ideas how to teach writing online. I know right now we have less time if we teaching online, like 30 minutes only with our students, so it's a pretty challenging activity to teach writing and also talk about reflection with your students. Then you have so much time. And also, please, we'll take a look at new close-up pages for writing. I will show you how you can work with writing activities. Then you have some of them in your teacher's book, and also we will discuss what you can add to students' books for writing and for doing some assessments and reflection. And please feel free to type in the questions that you may have about this topic in the chat box, or ask them, like just unmute yourself and ask me after the presentation. But I believe it would be hard. Yeah. Okay, so please just write in the chat box, or you can ask me questions as we have a box questions and answers too. I hope you will share your ideas about this particular topic writing and be more open to conversation than just listening today, as I want to start with you with discussing several statements. I've prepared several. Maybe I've just get into deep, but please bear with me. So the first statement that I prepared sounds like that, and I want you to choose your own option, your own point of view to share it with us. How do you see the situation with writing in ALT? For us to check if we're staying on the same page, if we cover all questions that we have in teaching in English writing in Ukraine. So first statement, writing activities, what they do. Do they assist or they don't assist students with their social development? How do you think? Social skills and everything with it. Writing activities help students to develop their communication or don't really? From your experience, how do you see the situation? Yeah. Let's do it like that. 1 or 2, yeah? Do assist or don't assist. Yes? 1, do assist. 2, don't assist. Oh, I think they assist. 1, yes, they do. Okay. I believe it's a bit challenging to talk about social development. It's a bit of a buzzword, social development. Yes, but we're talking about that. Communication, collaboration. Only I see even 11. Yes, it's like double one. Okay. They can write about work experience. It's very good comment, I believe, as definitely writing gives you voice. Yes, you have this voice. You can share your inner thoughts, and sometimes when we write something and our students write, they can find some ideas that would be interesting to discuss. Yeah, and it's like a new insight for them. Yeah, yes, I can add that. They can use all that background knowledge that they have, and they believe that it was only like passive knowledge for them. No, they begin to use everything in writing. So it's a good review practice when we do writing to share ideas and also your options and also your experience. Okay, so all activities, if properly organized, can assist this development of skills. Yes, definitely. I would agree with it that if we pay attention how activity was developed, what ideas is behind it, and what steps to implement it, any kind of activity, if we follow the steps, and if we bring something positive and like modify it a bit to our needs, yeah, not just follow blindly, it will be working for us, definitely. Okay, we have a lot of, so I believe we agree, not like mostly, but definitely agree that writing activities assist students with their development. Yes, and I want to mention, as we can't cover just in 1 hour this big topic, writing in LT, that the main idea for writing, why it's important, as our students begin to consider the audience of their speaking, yes, they begin to develop their mediation skills. Like they begin to consider who would be reading recipient. It's important, yeah. And also they begin to pay attention to purpose, why they write. If you do these activities, then you write a letter, and then you exchange letters. Your students write letters, and then they exchange it and write responses. It's really good practice, as they have purpose. They for the second exercise, they would be knowing what we're doing. They responding. And it's a brilliant purpose, as sometimes students don't feel all this necessity to do writing exercises only because they know it will be only practice. Yeah, only teacher would be able to see it. Then they would know that their classmates would be responding to it. They would put more energy and more thought in what they are writing. So I believe it would be really helpful if they do it. If you do some postcards, you can make it like put them on the board and ask to leave comments to this postcards, for example. It can be, if online, it can be used like a Jamboard. Someone leaves an article, small article about some activity. Other students comment. Yes, it can be done through a lot of social media. It can be used in a Facebook page. It can be done in Instagram and even TikTok. If they do some video, they written some scripts for it. Students can leave comments. So we can play with writing. We can be creative. So when we teaching online, it's not always about losing all these traditional tropes, how we do it. We need to look for new versions of writing that we can find. So another statement that I have for you. Writing activities, what they do? They increase or decrease students' confidence? I want you to talk from your experience as teachers, not from the like in general. I believe yes, they need to increase student confidence, but in practice, what do you see? They increase or they decrease? Then your students do this writing activities. What do you see? Do you see a boost of motivation in them, or mostly you see that they lose motivation for new units? Okay, so increase. Yeah, you can put 1 or 2 or okay. Oh, I see a really good comment. It depends on teachers' feedback. Yes, definitely. If we ask our students to put a lot of energy to sit and write a letter, article, essay, to write even to create a post and also to do some writing with it, and we don't provide enough feedback, if we just give a mark but we don't explain how to improve, yes, students would really feel dismotivated. And also it's a problem that sometimes only having this blank page, looking at it and thinking what I will be writing, it's already dismotivating. Yes, so we lose this energy of doing it, this task, this positive approach. Only then our students see that it's writing activity. So it's always about this teenagers that they have this bad experience with writing. It can be just 1 or 2 cases when they felt that they've put a lot of energy, but they haven't seen feedback from people to whom they were writing, recipients, or maybe from teachers who were just marking it and didn't provide any explanation. So all that accumulates, and then they don't have this credibility with our students that then we ask them to do some time-consuming task, they are not ready to do it. So one of the biggest challenges for writing is students don't ready to write. And for that, we need to go for small steps, taking really small steps with our students for them to build on their motivation, to understand what they are doing, and then building, okay, they sure to have confidence, okay, increase. So I see, depends on task, yes, I see most, we agree that these activities should increase our students' motivation and also their confidence. Yes, if we start these small steps, if our students will see some benefits from it, and also they feel that they're accomplishing something, if we're doing formative assessment, if we discuss, at least if you do some pair activities for checking works, or maybe group check, your students would be feeling that they building on this confidence. They would know, yes, there are always a room to improvement, and they will be building on this curiosity, what I can do better, what I can develop. But if we don't provide feedback, if we don't do any kind of activities that dealing with editing and also with discussing of results, yes, it would be a problem. It happens with the adults too. I can tell you, writers feel the same. If you just bring them their work with a lot of marks and you tell this need to be corrected, they would be feeling very offended. They would ask you, provide feedback, explain to me why I need to correct this particular paragraph, as they don't understand. They feel that sometimes they've done a lot of work but received nothing. That's why we need to help our students to build on this confidence. Yes. Okay. One more statement. Students do more or less writing activities than those in activities that we have for 3 other skills. From my experience, I would say less, as I've seen, I've taught this a lot of books, and I've seen not a lot of activities for writing. It's always that I had to add something to book and propose some additional activities for my students, as they've done a lot for reading. They've done a lot for learning vocabulary and grammar, and also a lot of speaking even, but yes, I agree, much less. We do much less activities for writing than we do for other skills. I don't think it should be like that. We definitely need to do less. Or just share your ideas if you feel like sharing. It depends on the course book and aims of the course. Yes, aims. It's important. If we preparing for exams or if we doing it just for general development, it's two different roads that we need to take. But I believe discussing how to write need to be done on both of them. And pretty at the beginning of this road of each of them, it's really necessary to have conversation how to write. As a lot of people not only have bad experience from how they learned in primary, writing in primary and also writing in secondary, they would hold this like bad experience against you and would feel that they can skip writing. That's why sometimes if we're talking about private institutions, they ask their students ask their teachers, please, without homework or without I will do everything but not writing. I wouldn't be writing. I don't want to do writing. I don't write to anyone. I don't need it. And like I do a lot of writing at school. Don't give me anything. I just feel like, yeah, I don't do, let's discuss how to write, yeah, but the final writing I wouldn't be doing. Yes, okay, yes, we need to motivate, we need to explain. Writing is cool, it's interesting, it can provide you with a lot of interesting activities. As right now, even as an adult, I sometimes feel that I need to sit and think how I would write a short letter to my colleague in English and rewrite it several times. Is that I never really sat and done it as a teenager. I never learned how to write emails as a teenager. I was writing about my my son, about my family, about my house, about my career prospects, and about different things that are really interesting also to write, but some activities in writing I too badly haven't done, and right now they bite me back. Yes, so I'm talking about that. Yeah, sometimes we have this thing. Okay, we can provide a lot of modern interactive technology. Yes, technology, it's a good. I will show you several ideas for online. How to check writing online. We will come to this topic. Okay, but I want to say to you that yes, we sometimes have less writing, or sometimes we give it as a homework, as a time-consuming. Yes, definitely time-consuming. And for such situation, we need to remember that we need to stay human. We need to not to forget that with writing, the main purpose of writing is that social development. The first statement, yes, that it will assist our students with their social development. We need to emphasize that, yes, it's cool, and it will help you. It will help you in 10 years. It will help you next year. It will help you then you would text to your friend. If you know, right now a lot of students Ukrainian students staying in other places, they are more exposed to English-speaking cultures right now. And if they learn how to communicate with them in different ways, like even writing, like leaving some notices or maybe texting, it's helpful. It's not about always writing an essay. Not every person have been writing a lot of essays. I can say I have editing degree, but still I've written like maybe 100 essays in my life, no more. So I wouldn't expect a lot from teenagers too, for like every day you need to write an essay. Now, if they don't plan to be a journalist, I believe not really they need to do that. Okay, so the technology is good. I'm staying to the chat. Okay, it shows your skills to communicate as well as your General literacy. Yes, it's interesting. You see, pick up ideas, how to explain to your students the importance, yeah, and in what phrases we can explain it to them. As it's funny, it's cool, even if it's time-consuming. We will help our students to develop their attention, ability to pay attention to tasks, and also we will help them to learn this gathering information skills, storage it, analyzing it, critical thinking, all that reflexive critical thinking would be helping us with writing. So it will be really good. I really like these writing activities, and I find it's placed differently, like the last section in any unit, in any book for learning English, as it's really helping. Okay, so reflection. Let's take a look at it. Quick statements. Students should or shouldn't be aware of their goals. Do you discuss with your students criteria for their writing? How you would evaluate them for writing? How they can check themselves? Do you discuss it or no? Should they be aware? Very clear explanations. For example, like for the no, the structure, you know, this criteria how to receive 14 for writing, what you need to satisfy these conditions. Do you discuss it with your students? Okay, yes. Thank you, Vitalina. Yes, plus, yes, definitely. I really recommend, if you believe that shouldn't, I really encourage you to try. But I see most of you, yes, agree that they should be aware of goals. So yes, we need to have this small discussion with our students, and I believe not only in levels like A1 plus A2. No, even with students who already have B2 and they are finishing their state education in secondary and high, they need to have this conversation about goals and criteria for writing, as it's good to build on that knowledge and revise it for our students to know what criteria for writing, what they can improve, as it will be very helpful. It would cut your time for giving feedback, as your students would know, oh, this I can improve, and it wouldn't be without necessity for you to emphasize it each time that you haven't done this. No, they would already know that they need to do it from their experiences and conversations about goals. So, second one that we have, it's last two, please believe me. So, self-assessment should happen during or after writing. How do you see? The process of writing, let's say an email or essay, self-assessment for students should happen then, during and after writing. Okay, I see that during, yes. Okay, a lot of after, yes, I see the during and after. Okay, so very two minds about it. I see like one, two, yes, both. Oh, yes, thank you, Elena. I would agree with you. Yes, as it should happen both. Yeah, but it should happen from the moment that we take a pen, when we open Word to write. Yeah, then we just click the first letter. Self-assessment should be working, and it should be done separately. Vocabulary, grammar separately, and structure separately. So then our students sit and try to check after writing. It's always we see not blank page, but finally we see a block of text. And if we've done a lot of reading in their practice with English, they don't know how to edit. They don't feel that they have powers to bring changes to the text. They see it like a monolith. They want to only pass it to you and forget that they've done any kind of written activity. So they need to help our students to work with it and do self-assessment on different levels. If they have problems to do it in one or two stages, then we separate it in smaller steps. Please take a look. Do you see Do you have problems with grammar? No? Okay. Tick. We've checked it. Vocabulary? Tick. Okay. So we check it. Now let's check the structure. Let's see. After everything that you corrected with grammar and vocabulary, do we have a stable structure? You written all that we want, and then the final, we checking the ideas. Is every idea that you wanted to share was opened and explained enough arguments, enough proof for it, enough examples of that? Yeah, so both. The process of writing while we're writing, yes, it's like speaking, but active expression of yourself. We do it and we assess at that moment. For example, one of my students had a bit of problem. She was writing what bad through the E. So then she was using what bad. It was always through the E. But after several times that I showed, please take a look. You do this mistake. She began to self-assess herself and to correct it while she was writing. So it was like, oh, I see. Quick correction, and it doesn't take more time for her to check after writing. So they enjoy this process of writing as it's expression of ideas, but we also can edit while they writing, and the final check would be after writing. And with some students, if they have low skills, we do it rewritings. Yes, if we have we've done a lot of editing, sometimes it's easier to abandon the first version and to rewrite it using only the like skeleton for writing, or maybe only the parts that we edited. Okay, and the final statement, online spelling and grammar checks, they can help or they can prevent students from developing their writing skills. How do you see the situation with technology? Online spelling and grammar checks. You know, like we write in Word and then just spell writing, or like check writing. Don't we have any problems with it? Like, oh, we have something on the line and we need to correct it. Does it help our students to develop their writing skills? Oh, it is bad. yeah. Oh, thank you for cracking a joke and boosting our mood today. Okay, boss. It can help and prevent. Yes, it's about how we use technology. Yes, it's not always technology would be harmful for us. It's more about how we see the usage of it. Yes, if it's done without any thought, it can prevent our students. If they only lean on technology to do it and they don't use it like your students written a text, they put it in some program, it checks mistakes, and they just send it to you. They don't bother to see the final text. So to maybe edit it, like to check is everything okay with it. To do this and analyzing, yeah, to use critical thinking. If they use some programs to analyze, and then they would be sending you text only after it was analyzed by them, but not only by the program. Yes, it would be good. I want to show you too. Since that I often use this online teaching, I told you maybe it will be helpful for you. I will be showing you, then I will tell you the name of the site, okay? So if you're using it, please write in the chat. Maybe you will be able to recognize them. It's interesting for me to see if they are recognizable enough. So the first one, I've taken an example from our new close-up book, and I've decided to put it through the program as an example how teenager writes to teenager. Let's see if we see some mistakes, if we see some problems with it, and we will quickly see how system is checking. So it's a letter from Emma, from Tom to Emma. What I've done with it, I've taken to some site that helps me to set goals for checking writing, choosing an audience. You see, I can change between general and also knowledgeable. I believe general would be good if we're talking about something for informal writing. For this one, it's a letter from teenager to teenager, definitely informal. The domain, I need to pay for it. I always use such things for free. So that's why I sticking to general. And also intent. I chosen to describe the situation as it was one teenager asking for advice from another. You see, I've set in goals. Okay, thank you. Okay, we are still discussing that. Yeah, okay, so take a look. After check, the program given me some suggestions. You see, it can check text not only for grammar but also for vocabulary, but for correctness. Correctness is grammar and vocabulary together. Clarity is very necessary for our students to check text for clarity. You see, I told you the students need to understand goals that we set before them. Clarity, one of them, obvious. It's always important, as most of exam for writing, they check writing, they ask not to be precise with vocabulary and grammar only, but also text need to be understandable. Even if you make some mistake and misspells, text need to be understandable, comprehensible. Yes, comprehensible. I've learned that the English speakers don't use understandable. Okay, engagement, it's necessity. As then text boring, it's really doesn't help to receive high marks. That's why I always ask my students, text need to be interesting to read for you, and not only like you writing what you feel like to write. Please try to make it more engaging. It will really help you to be able to communicate with other people, for them to pick up your ideas, to share these ideas. Delivery. You see, delivery is slightly off. If I've taken this moment, I would be know what, but I decided to take a look what happened with correctness, like grammar, vocabulary. Let's see. Well, maybe I have some problem with this text. Okay, this is text the same, but you see, correctness is shown like that. Okay, so something is underlined, and when I click, I see something like that. Punctuation. So comma this because, before, dependent clause, because. All these cohesive devices that we use and how we use punctuation and syntaxes, all that can be checked automatically. As yes, it's rules that sometimes our students forget. They use however, nevertheless, and they forget how to build sentences with it. Such programs can help them to revise what they heard from your lessons. Emphasize to them that please take a look. This is rule. We have similar even in Ukrainian language. We have online corrector. It's called. I often use it when I write messages to you to check spelling, and also how they use all kinds of cohesive devices. So, do you know the name of this site now? It's pretty famous, and even developers are from Ukraine, some of them. It's Grammarly. I probably have heard of it. You see why I'm using it sometimes with my students and recommend to them. As they can quickly check for formality. Is it informal, semi-formal, formal? What we will be using? Does it correspond to audience? Do you need to push more? Do you use more terms? Oh no. Yeah. For say, I would put something like knowledgeable, and also intent, describe or inform. It's important. I can play with these options and help my students also to do such checks. That's why I sometimes show them and tell them you can do this reflection, checking your text like that to see mistakes. It's okay. As mostly I would ask my students Have you had any mistakes? And I ask them, expecting them to be honest with me. And if they say I had 5 mistakes or I had everything in red, it's okay. If they can correct text, if they can show me that they can edit it, I know they worked with it. They had their own practice and they had real self-study with it. Okay, so another one, it's something that I use for my students who are not visual thinkers, I would say, who prefer to not to do kinesthetic activities when we take a pen and write, who don't learn from experiences from their eyes and also from the touch, but from listening. Yes, they need listening, and it's hard to check writing with listening for our students, auditory type. Yes, we can work with them. This site is a big help for me with such students, as we see right now with Ukrainian students. We have bigger portion of our students, like they begin to appear, these auditory learners. I take a text that I've written. No, you see my example, and I can just play it. Like the program is saying it for me. Yeah, I can just sit and listen and hear. Oh, I've made a mistake. Is it the sentences too long? Is it hard to say that? Or does it sound natural? Maybe they would be comparing to what they heard from your listening, in conversations that you've done through listening, in some monologues that they heard, maybe some TV programs that we've seen and listened to it in English. They would be comparing and hearing, oh, yeah, something is wrong. Program doesn't read it as I expected to read. And then they will have this moment, oh, I need to edit it. I need to edit. No, not like, mistake, I will leave it for teaching. No, they will really feel that like editing. And also it's a good experience they will have. It's I can say it doesn't read like robot. It reads like a real person. Take a look. I can choose even something like that, the type of pronunciation that I want. From Britain, the received pronunciation, or maybe I want to play with global English and ask for option. Yeah, they are free. They're free. You can, if you don't download this speaking file, you can do it online. So English from Australia, India, Wales, all types of English. Play with global, or maybe I want male to read it, or maybe female reader I want. Maybe I need a child to read this letter. I can play with audience, yeah, to hear the different pronunciation. So it's additional activity that you can do with writing. That's why if it helps you to work with different groups of students, not only people who are kinesthetic, who take pen and write, and they need this feel of paper, feel of like the sound of scribbling, all that. Not only for people who work like that, but also for people who have problems with writing, just because they experience the world through listening more than from visuals and also from touch. So it's my idea that I wanted to share with you. I will show you quick a book, and let's concentrate mostly on how we proceed with writing and what blogs we can propose our students to use from taking activity, taking a task to creating the result, to do a product. So what we cannot, we have a task, we need to write informal email, really the no type one, and we are provided even an example to what we need to respond. We often do like that. In the no, we have these 3 points that we need to respond to. Here we already have example of what we need to respond, and what we can add to it. First of all, I believe it's a good idea to add something like that, a reflection checklist. Then you explain to your students criteria. It's good that we have it as a list. Yeah, at least once when you do it with writing, for your students, they need to see a list to check, to mark, to put the sticks that, okay, I've put hi and see you soon correctly. Okay, I haven't forgotten to make it in paragraphs, something like that. It's necessary for them not to only like holding the idea that they need to do that. They need to do it once or twice. They need to do it with their pencil and their pens. Like tick, 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 tick. I've done it, I've done it. You see, they need such list. It's really helpful. If you went to, at least once, you went to supermarket and had a list to buy, what products you need, you know, it takes less time for you to do activity, buying products, than you would just go into supermarket and just randomly choosing product. The same happens with writing. If you have some manual, if you have some instructions and you can check them, it takes less time to do it, and it takes less stress. You just know that, okay, I set aside these conditions, so I just quickly proceed to next one. I don't distract myself with phones, with computer games, with any kind of fun activities. I just have this list that I need to follow, and it will take less time. And some writings can be done only like in 10 minutes and 5-10 minutes for check if you have a reflection checklist. But it's not enough. It's really not enough if we just give our students tasks and checklist. They need to give more, and you know, a lot of books provide something like that. Useful language, useful expressions, some cohesive expressions that you can use. Sometimes they are given to you like this. You see, it's like I can say it closer to table, I believe, but a list of phrases that you can use divided into different categories. Also, we can propose it like mind maps. If you have time to discuss with your students, it's only your first writings that you do like that. You see some problems, then you probably can also remind them using mind maps, like the start of conversation, the start of the letter, how we do it. Hi, hello, this one. Yeah, what else can we do? And this. It will help to your students who are more visually inclined to learn, but still it will help them to see some connections. And then we see some infrastructure. Infograph. It really helps us to build it quicker, our writing. Also, it's a good idea that you have a discussion. It can be done orally. It can be done like a list. You see, I have a list here. What we want to see in text. Not only vocabulary, but grammar. What grammar we would want to have this informal letter. What you can include. And it's good to provide examples to your students, like how you can start, what expression you can use. Don't forget that I want to see from you using I would. Yeah, I would like something, or if you give a recommendation, like you give an advice, please try to use this expression. So maybe you can play, you can modify, maybe we can say to our students, but it's a good idea to include it, and I will give you like a plus for doing like that. And don't forget that you don't need to include something like that. Sometimes I discuss with my students even what tenses to use, in particular the types of writing, and emphasize that they can implement something more complicated than they already done in previous writings. It's for them to put a challenge. Like I'm telling them that they need to use for example, at least once they need to use past perfect, and it's up to them to decide when they will use it, but it needs to correspond to the text. Yeah, something like that. It helps when you putting a focus on what vocabulary and what grammar you want to this. books usually help with vocabulary. With grammar, it's our responsibility to help to our students. Okay. Also, it's good that we have some plan. Any type of planning, it can be done in some theses, it can be done in question type. But any kind of plan that we can use for writing, it's helpful. Even if sometimes it seems like additional step that we already have a reflection checklist. It's like, looks like plan. No, they need planning. Planning is a necessity. It's ideas that we will be developing in paragraphs. Like that, it's working. That's why I always ask my students, if they don't have time to write, like really don't have, and they bring it this as excuse several times, I ask, okay, you don't have time to write, please bring a plan. Show me a plan of what you would write. Plan is easier to do, it's quicker to do, but it takes this moment to think about what you would be writing, and then it's easier for, like, additional activity to develop it into the text. So we will put it into stages. First you bring a plan, second you bring the final writing, but it's good. We still would have some result with it. If we just keep planning at all, we would have a moment when students like lose motivation, then they see blank writing and they do not, you know, they follow the principle of creative freedom. I will write about what I want, but they need creative order as we follow the steps, this letters and also the saying. Okay, and also provide examples. Provide a lot of examples to discuss with your students. So it's good to talk about useful expressions and also about grammar that we want. But also then we have some example that when we can discuss, like underline it, yeah, like really underline it. Take a look. This is cohesive device. Oh, you see, this is a complicated phrase, but it's interesting. You can use it like that. Oh, please take a look. You can improve this one, or you can start a sentence like that. Okay, you see structure in the paragraphs. It would be much helpful as students learn not from telling them what to do. They learn, then they imitate. And imitating is good when we give them example. Good when we can provide them with what they need to respond to. But also it's good when they see what you want for them to write. That's why then you show such examples, then you see 3 paragraphs, four paragraphs, pretty big one. Your students, when they see something like that in their book, they wouldn't bring you 2 paragraphs into these 2 sentences in each. They will see that and think, okay, maybe one more. For each paragraph, it will be 6 sentences, but it's already, they tried to push their readiness to write through them. Okay, and that's all for today. Yeah, do you have any questions about this topic? Please tell me. Do you? Okay, if you have any, oh, thank you. Thank you for your time. If you have any questions about this theme, please write to me using my email. You will see contacts like in 2 minutes. And also, please note that we have new system. We have webinar. After several days, I'm writing an article, methodological article about similar topic, but for this case, I will be writing about reflection with primary school, about now I can, then we talk about writing in 3rd form and 4th form, yeah? So please check the page for National Geographic Learning to see this article. Put a lot of pluses, please, yes? Okay, and also subscribe if you feel like that. I remind you that your certificate of participation will be sent to you in 2 days. If you won't be able to find your certificate in your email and your junk box, on Monday, please write to me. Contacts for linguists is this one. You see, info@linguist.ua. You can find them on our site linguist.ua. My personal email is irina.malarova@linguist.ua. This is my phone. Please screenshot it. But I believe you can always just open the Linguist site and look for my contacts there too. Yes. Thank you for participating today. Please stay safe and stay sane and occupied and stay warm. Yes. I will see you in, let's say, we have some interesting event happening in 2 weeks. I will hope you will see it on our page. So please participate. It will be also a webinar with certificates. We will be presenting you new series that we have for NUSH from National Geographic Learning and Linguist Publishing. So if you're interested, please come. Yeah. Thank you for today. See you in for next webinars. Yeah. Bye.